I never imagined being in any shape or form in these kinds of opportunities. Growing up in Mara Loma, which is now the city of Rupa Valley, growing up in a family where we had a lot of challenges. My mom, as an immigrant, she made a lot of sacrifices. She raised me and my two younger sisters below the poverty line. At best, she made about $12,000 a year. She worked at a company called Maglite, a flashlight company doing assembly line work. And it was very clear to me that even though she didn't have the education or wherewithal about how to navigate your career, she instilled in me the values of what an education can do to transcend someone's life, and how to be connected and with your community. And for me to have the privilege of, as Supervisor Spiegel mentioned, with Supervisor John Tavaloni mentoring me since I was in high school, giving me these opportunities, it's been transformative. And it really is, again, it's a reflection of all of the people like you here in this room and others, that you never can imagine that the little bit of attention and support that you can provide a young person, what that can mean to them. And it can never be taken for granted, or what the power of that is. And for me, even after going to school for college, my first job was actually at the Riverside County Economic Development Agency right out of college. It was Supervisor Tavaloni that encouraged me to do that. And so the county has played a very important role in many facets, and my wife works there now too. So it's really been very special to us. With San Bernardino County, even though I grew up in Riverside County, I was actually born in San Bernardino County. And it was a hospital where my mom happened to be. but it's more than that, because when in 2008, I got an opportunity to go to USC for my doctorate. This was during the Great Recession, and I decided to do my dissertation on something tangible, not something theoretical. So I focused on neighborhood revitalization from the housing crisis, and it was actually in San Bernardino that I focused all of my efforts. So I actually dedicated 3 years of my life living out there, connecting with the community, the stakeholders. I got to meet many of my friends that are here today from that experience. And that really changed my life perspective as well, in a very humbling way, seeing how it's not people just losing their houses, they're losing their homes. And the impact that has on their family unit is a profound thing. And that whole journey as a student, and those years that I spent there, again, have always weighed heavily on me. So I'm very grateful to not just the county of San Bernardino, but all of the people from that community and giving me that opportunity. And I want to say that getting into a position is not an accomplishment. I'm appreciative that we're having this reception regarding this workforce position, but what you do in your position is what matters. And I fully intend to be accountable for that, and I look at each of you to help guide me in how I can be most effective in that. But the real work is going to be measured based on what we do from this point forward, and I'm well aware and cognizant of that. And I think the fact that the nature of what we do with workforce and why it's such a passion for me, again, not to bring up Cataloni too often, but he appointed me on the Riverside County Workforce Board when I was 22 years old. And again, to give someone at that age that kind of opportunity, if I wouldn't have gotten started at that age, I probably wouldn't be, I definitively will say I would not be in this position. So all of these things are connected. But I think the nature of workforce is about giving people dignity. It's about giving people the sense of being able to provide for themselves, being able to provide for their families. And that's, in essence, what we're really doing as a system. And this governor really believes in doing that from cradle to career, starting with getting people resources on prenatal care, early childhood education, and connecting them on pathways where they can pursue careers that can raise a family. And it's at the fundamental level, it comes to that social contract that this country was founded on, but the state really needs to catch up on, which is that if people work hard and they strive to make a difference, that they will have an opportunity. And even with the economic state what it is, we still have many people that are working multiple jobs, people that are not getting the wages that they need. And there's a sense of vulnerability right now with automation, artificial intelligence that was mentioned earlier, of what that can do to displace the workforce. And our region is particularly vulnerable and susceptible to that. I just want to speak on a few things of what the governor's priorities are with respect to workforce. So apprenticeships is a very important thing. The governor wants to have 500,000 apprenticeships within the next 10 years. And apprenticeships is important because from a social equity and a social mobility perspective, because you have an opportunity for people to learn while they're getting paid and then get into a pathway that again they can raise a family off of. And again, to a lot of people in low-income families, for them it's a trade-off. If I have to study for something, whether it's vocational, or put food on the table, or take care of my child, you don't want to have them to have to make that choice. And so that's why we believe apprenticeships are a very key model. And even though most people are familiar with them in the building trades and construction, we really want to encourage that in many sectors, whether it's healthcare, even the public sector, advanced manufacturing, many other options. The governor's also, in the next budget cycle, is going to be consolidating what's going to be the new Future of Work Department under Secretary Julie Su. The California Workforce Development Board, the Employment Training Panel, the Division of Apprenticeship Standards, and the Employment Development Department, EDD, all of them will be consolidated under this new department. So it's going to impact thousands of state employees to us in a positive way, and to streamline our efforts. And that should be a standing new department this upcoming summer. The Future of Work Commission, which is the governor's efforts of studying about the automation and artificial intelligence, they're coming here to UC Riverside November 14th, the commission. And so this is an area that if we look out to the future of our region, we are going to be ground zero for the policies and regulations that's going to happen. So I encourage everybody to weigh in and engage on those efforts. And in this administration, the focus is on high road. And what we mean by that is that just getting people a job is not going to be the focus of our public workforce funds. It's about wages that you can raise a family and that are environmentally sustainable. So that's the term that the governor uses, high road, and that's what we're going to continue to push. And lastly, for the governor's, on the governor's side, the Regions Rising Initiative. I know Paul Granillo is here for IEP, and UC Riverside is here with Provost Thomas Smith and others. But the two counties are working together to put a proposal on what could be transformative to address this economic equity gap between inland California and the coastal California. And so, again, this is a collaborative process that we really want to ensure all of you have input on. For me personally, the things that I want to see is reimagining the way that workforce services are delivered. I think it's to some extent outdated to have these standalone physical centers where people come in and drive to access our workforce services. If there's ways that we can partner, which we are with the Riverside School District and other community-based organizations, to bring workforce resources and services to the people where they're at. And so this is something that you're going to be hopefully hearing a lot more about. And we want to have a deeper partnerships with industry. The board is majority private sector led, and we want to set up partnerships with industry associations so that local businesses throughout the state can be more familiar with our services that we provide employers. And that includes the labor movement as well. I know that there's some union leaders here as well. We're partnering with the California Labor Federation to see how the public workforce system can support the labor movement. And we coordinate with the GoBiz, Governor's Business and Economic Development. We coordinate with the Office of Planning and Research. So all of these efforts are administration, agency-wide efforts. And I just want to kind of close by just saying that these are all things that we're going to be working on, but the only thing that's going to matter is the roles and contributions that we do as a team. And I can't tell you again, as being someone who shouldn't really be in this position, coming from where I've come from, but I can tell you that I'm not going to have any day where I won't strive to make all of you proud. And I, again, consider it a great honor to do this together, and hopefully together we can continue to realize the great promise and future for the Inland Empire. Thank you.